So I'm running a review to make sure I'm not going to crash anything. This is going to be 2 plugs I have to cut out to stick inside a pattern that I'm going to be showing you here in a minute. Alright, so this is where these are going to fit. Now build up the outside with Bondo, and then I'm going to try to scribe a center line based off of this surface and this surface to put a center in it. Epoxied in place close enough. And there I'm going to go ahead and build up with Bondo and build that spear back up that you see right here. So I'll have to wait a few hours before I can get to that point. These are the spare points that go on a gate that goes around the old Capitol in Little Rock, Arkansas. And a tree hit it, busted a bunch of these, 12 I think. That's how many we got to make for the customer. The customer is Bray Sheet Metal, and we have made cemetery pickets for them a couple of years ago. And now they are a repeat customer. We're going to be doing some of these. As I said, I think they're going to need 12. With that side busted out, we're not going to be making a core box to reflect that. He said don't worry about leaving a hollow cavity on the end like the original. Make it solid, and they're just going to weld this back to the gate as this. Well, these are starting to come together. I got to add a little more filler. There was a little flat spot, I think, right here. And right there. Now, once I get this roughed in, I'm going to have to hand sand them. And I'll bring you back. Well, my friends, we're going to be making a false drag. We are kind of pushed for time, or I'd wait tomorrow and let Casey do this, but I have Keith Rucker here tonight, and we're going to be starting on a huge cane mill roller tomorrow morning. So I need to go ahead and get this job knocked out before I could have these shipped to the customer next week. So we're going to start off by, I had to do a little more rework on these patterns, make them look right. Cast 6 already, which look good, but there's some imperfections on this little spear, the waist of it right there, that I didn't like, so we fixed that. I'm going to put a coat of parting dust on this one and the other one, and we're going to start by making our false drag. And I will start by turning that noisy fan off where you can hear me. We're going to put a riser, an open riser right here on these. Now, as I said, this is just the false drag. It's a disposable. The only purpose for this is to support the patterns and keep the plane in the correct position. So I numbered these 1 and 2. Because no 2 castings are alike, I will be having to make sure I put number 1 where it goes, number 2 where it goes. So the numbers are going to be facing up when I get ready to start each time. And you know what? Let's let me think about this. Yeah. When I have it flipped over, it's going to be da-da. Yeah. All right, never mind. I'm thinking aloud here. I'm going to lightly kind of rough in a parting line now, packing this down. I'm using really wet sand at this point because we need to be able to reuse the false drag 4 times, I believe. All right. We'll fix that when we cope it down. Now, I'm not worried about putting a sieve on it at this point. There's really no way to, as wet as I got this. Make sure I got enough cover here to where I can pack this pretty good without hitting the patterns. I am suffering for you guys. I cut that fan off. It's 91 degrees in here, but you won't be able to hear me over that noisy thing. Now, once I get this round, I'm going to have to stop for a minute and mold regular sand to round these up with. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day, which will probably be on next week's video of us pouring this huge cane mill roller. That's hard enough. That's okay. All this is for is to cradle the parts and hold them in their proper location. Now, I would normally not use sand this wet. We tried this the other day with regular sand, and it's just so hot. It's drying the false drag out prematurely before we can finish this. Alright, so these castings are pretty heavy, and if I don't hold the flask down to the molding board as I raise it up to roll it over, they're just going to fall out. So I'm going to hug everything and pull it to me. Lay the molding board down. And now we got to cope these out of the flask. I know about where you can't go wrong just going right here in the middle. Until we hit the part, there's one of them. There's the other one. All right. the nose of them, or the tip of the spear. And I'm going to flatten this plane down, because when I put my runner in there, I don't want to be going uphill. So I'm going to cope on down to here, find the holding line right there. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Bring this background down a little more. Keep that slope to a minimum. So we got the furnace all round up the other day, and then yesterday I got my gaskets made, so we are ready to pour with that thing, but we don't have enough molds on the ground yet. So I'm going to see what I can do to take care of that tonight. Keith's going to get pretty bored. Alright, so I'm going to flip this over 180 degrees. And we're going to coat this end of each one of them. And I'm not going to go too far down on these yet. I want to get down to as close to the equator as I can, but I don't want to go beyond that. Not yet. Tracy hasn't been outside since I left this morning, so she's talking a little bit mess. All right. Lord mercy. And guys, there's Short Pants Rucker.
I got on my short britches today.
Yeah. I was just, I've got every part of the video for making these except this part of it. And I was going to have Casey doing it, but it just didn't work out today. So I'm going to knock these out.
Coaching out that false drag.
Yeah. And I use a lot wetter sand for this just to try to help it hold up a little better. I didn't mull all the sand like this, just enough to get us this done. And then I'll just fluff that around with the rest of it when I mull it. As I said, I'm just trying to get down to the equator of these points here and establish me a center line. And then I'm going to, when I get close, I'm going to go ahead and wrap these and get them loose. And I'm going to kind of glaze this over, help keep the air off of that sand. Put a coat of dust on there and you'll be able to see the movement when they get, see how that dust shows up in the crack. Now at this point, they're not going to leave a clean parting line. I'm going to flip this over and pull that. Well, actually, I'm going to use my magnet. I'm just going to... Now at this point, this is number 1 and that's number 2. It's okay that that's breaking out. Because the only job of this part of the mold is to cradle them in place to establish a quick parting line on the rest. So you can see where it has tore the sand loose. So we're just gonna, that's where our new parting line is gonna be. Anywhere you see the sand break off, you just rake that back. And actually, I know for a fact I need to go down here. I gotta put an open riser on the tail end of these. Got a little bit of sand right here I need to clean up. That's a handy little thing.
Yeah, I like that.
It beats the heck out of using those bellows.
Yeah.
I need to reach out to them and see if they'll send me a new one. It's got a higher speed.
Probably need a lower speed.
Yeah, it's got a...
I'm going to see something lower than that.
Yeah. It's got that speed.
Okay.
And then it's got...
Yeah.
Little thing puts out. And never did it.
Yeah, I've done that too many times.
Uh-huh. And that would be some of your best work yet, right?
Yeah, sometimes I get off and I'll go up there and I think I'm turning it off and I'm turning it on and I'm like filming and there's nothing going on. Then I go hit the button again thinking I'm turning it on and I just turned it off and I miss everything.
Uh-huh. That looks like a good fit.
Yeah. Get them back in the right hole.
Yeah. Well, I got them numbered. So we got a number 1 goes there and a number 2 that goes right here. And like I said, all this is for is to cradle just for the next operation. So now I'm going to finish. I'm going to go ahead and mull some regular sand and bring you back. You can hit that stop button if you want. 1, 2. Just got to remember the numbers go up. Now I do worry about what this side looks like. So we're going to use this side sieve and do the best we can with it. And I'm a little on the wet side, aren't I? All right. So for those of you that do not understand what a false drag does, you put all your time and effort into parting it or coping it down just on that one. And then from there forward, you don't have to do that again. As long as you don't destroy the false drag. All right, so I'm going to pull this straight up. Now the numbers are up at this point. I'm going to put them with the numbers down in the other mold. The same sequence, so this is 1, this is 2. I said, the numbers go down now. This is number 2. Number goes down on number 1. Get my center of gravity right. And they fit beautifully. So no more coping. I'm done with that. So when I ram this, I'm going to have more on this side holding the part, because my parting line is actually, just to be on the safe side, I got a feeling what I ram up here is going to tear out, and you're going to have a lot of loose sand land in this when I separate it, if I don't flip it over first. So as heavy as this is, it looks like that's what I got to do. I've been trying to come up with a rotator design that'll fit well with the flask hardware. I got something in mind. I just haven't had time to design it yet that will actually grip these 2 lugs, squeeze it, self-center itself, of course, on an axis, and you can rotate it. Dollar didn't bark earlier when Keith came. Now she's barking. Now he's coming back from getting gas. Alright, I'm going to roll this whole thing over. Flip back to me. pull her apart. Found your way back up there?
Oh, yeah.
We got to our next gas station.
Yeah, it's all right.
We're uptown.
We just got us a new marathon station, too. That was good.
Yeah, very clean pull. But I don't know if it's going to be that way coming out of this side. I'm going to use this as my cope. I should have put my screw hole in earlier, shouldn't I? Yeah, I'll use this one for now. Sand's a little on the damp side. And put a riser right there. I don't think I was using that size riser. I was using this one. Yeah, Casey did really good on the first batch of these. I would gladly have let her mold these, but we were running out of time. It's a weird looking riser system, ain't it?
As long as it works.
It'll work. Well, we did really well last night. We had to scrap a couple, but for the most part, 95% everything turned out. The Windy Hill Foundry squares right here. They got to be cleaned up. All this is going to be cleaned up. And then we have the spare points, the first set of 6. These are going to have to be recast because of riser placement. As you can see right there, we went ahead and ran some 12-inch and some 18s while we were at it. Well, my friends, this is it. Got them all cast and ready to ship. Wanted to show them to you real quick before I start boxing them up and get them on their way to Little Rock, Arkansas. As I said earlier, these do go on a fence. These are finials that top a fence that surrounds the old state house in Little Rock, Arkansas. It's always a good feeling when I get included on old historical projects like this. So we do take great pride in that, and I hope we can continue for a long time doing similar work like this. For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.